Assalamualaikum and greetings for everyone. My name is Yahya Muhammad Shahrur.
I'm Afiq.
Hi, I'm Nufais.
I am Azim.
And here's our group discussion about unemployment.
Recently I have read some papers that is addressing the problem of unemployment among fresh graduates. For me this is quite frustrating because after you study for almost 16 years, there is a potential that you are not going to have a job. So especially when you think about it, the whole society and the whole social stream is telling you please focus on your study and never think about anything else, because surely you are going to have a job, but after you graduate you have this shock that you are not finding a job. So it makes me rethink about the whole process, why we are studying from the first place if we are not going to find a job after we graduate. Of course this is not going to be the whole everyone how they think about this problem, but why do you think this problem is happening from the first place? Why there is no new jobs? Why there is unemployment problem?
The main cause of unemployment among fresh graduates is economic factor. Having said that, Malaysia economic sector are under crisis. Because of this crisis, some company do not want to take risk to invest for a new worker scheme. So they are prefer an experienced worker to fill up the job vacancy. As a result, the fresh graduates are potentially unemployed. Some say that fresh graduates are not equipped with the necessary skill, but in my opinion, actually fresh graduates are equipped with skills but less experience, so that the responsible party should give opportunity for them to show their true potential.
Well, another impact of economic downturn on the job market is that the fresh graduates are not able to do their own business even they have their own capital. For instance, a collapse of a building related industries will make it difficult for fresh graduates to start building related business since they will have no marketplace. A collapse in the building industries will also affect plumbers, masons, electricians, and the other professionals in the building industries. These professionals cannot start their own consultant firms.
I think the problem is also the student themselves. Most of these fresh graduates are asking for a high amount of salary. And another problem is also that even though this student they got job offer from the company itself, but this student reject the offer because they found that the amount of salary is low or not up to the expectation. Another thing is that the amount of salary put by the company is actually enough. They believe it's enough, but the problem is the student or the fresh graduate, they prefer to have a high amount of salary to support their lavish lifestyle.
Well, as a fresh graduate, they should not be too selective in picking their first job. They need to be flexible and be prepared to switch areas when needed depending on the opportunity they had. For those that demanding on the salaries, they should try to tolerate about that because they don't want to be unemployed. Then they need to live their life depending on their fresh graduate standards. They should not be wasting their money.
I think another problem is that the employer themselves are picky also. Is that the reason is that because this employer are having a high expectation towards the candidate, toward the fresh graduate. They prefer to have candidate that have good job experience. But most of these fresh graduates are fresh coming from the university, so they don't have any experience at all. Another problem is also that this employer, especially from private sector, they prefer students coming from private university or private colleges because they believe that this kind of student are having good communication skill in English.
I bet you are talking about our English, right? Well, I think we here in UTM have we have done a lot to improve our English. For example, like UTM students have organized Tengku Chancellor English Language Sharing Session. The event was held to encourage the UTM students to take on the challenge of using English as a second language for the global communication to enable them to expand their horizon and possibilities. The main objective of this event is to spur the interest of students to adapt English language as their possible tools of communication in order to overcome the language barrier that has impeded student true potential.
In addition to that, I think one of the reasons why private companies they prefer the private college graduates is they have a little bit more hands-on and practical knowledge. I think this is due to the reality that the decision-making process in the private colleges is much faster than the public universities. You know, like due to the size of the university itself, especially public universities, they have huge number of facilities and huge number of students and stuff. It's quite hard for them to respond on the correct time to the market demands. While in the private college, they are a little bit flexible and much more responding to the market needs. So it makes them much more aware of what the market looks and what is the market demands. So they fill these demands for the candidates and for the graduates. So I think this is a strong reason also.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. I think that the government should also play a huge role about unemployment. The government should encourage these companies to work with the university so that they can help the university to create a certain mark or benchmark so that they know what the students should be focusing at. Another thing also is that the government should also create new jobs by creating a facility or services for the society. By doing so, the government can also create jobs for the student and help the society.
Well, that is for the government part. As a student, we should be prepared. We should prepare ourselves to meet the real world. Be more competent to be better than the others. For example, we can make self-preparation by building a good CV. We should join the university's activities, the community activities, so that we can gain extra skills from that.
Yeah, I agree with the point. In my opinion, the student also need to do some research about the future employer. For example, like they search what are the graduate the company are looking for, what type of skills needed for the job. So the students know the target. So at least for during the 3 years or 4 years studies, they know what their target to be achieved.
I think this is a long-lasting problem since we cannot solve it today or tomorrow, but at least we are aware of that problem. There is a potential that after you graduate, you cannot immediately find a job. So you have to be prepared for such a potential. At the same time, you have to get yourself ready for the next job.
Oh, sorry guys, I have a test tomorrow. So, see you guys.